Hi guys, me, Transer here, and in today's video, we're back with City Skylines, and in this part, I thought we'd be upgrading some more areas and putting some more residential in. So since the last part, we have added this bus depot, which is working nicely, and when we expand the city more, we'll be adding a few more lines into this bus depot. So potential for 16 lines coming out of there altogether. So we're going to go over to here, and we're going to go build these roads out. We're going to get that road built by 7:20, and we're going to build it all the way up to here. And we'll do the same on the other side to make a bit of a symmetrical pattern in the city. And this area is going to be partly filled with commercial and a few parts of the residential area, and we'll add a few parks into this area just to give the residents somewhere to help them to expand where they are living. So we're just going to quickly finish this bit off, and then we'll be adding a bus service into the area as well. We're going to add the bottom one down here as the commercial, and we'll add the bottom two and the top two at the commercial, and then the rest here can be for the residential. We're going to add 3 residential here. We have a bit more of a demand for the commercial, so that's why there's more commercial going into this area. So I'm just going to go and delete that boulder there, which is in the way, and we're going to add that to there. So that can be expanding now nicely. So I'm going to have a look down at the industrial, and the demand for industrial is starting to grow a little bit. So we'll build a bit more industrial down here to supply the demand for the industrial. And that went badly wrong off not being straight. Now that's better. So we're going to build these roads out, and then we're going to put in the next part of the industry zone. So we're going to put officers when we get the chance to, and we get the right amount of population to do that, closer to the city. And now we're going to fill these areas up. And we'll have to wait until the industrial it supplies the demand. So now we've got a bit of a problem here. We have taken away the power connection, but we won't need this power line anymore, so we can get rid of the power line. And that stopped the area from clogging up. And we have a slight problem in the bus depot with all the buses trying to go in at once, so that'll be having to have a sort out with the one-way roads system, because the one-way road is clogging it all up. These bits here where the buses are 2-way roads, but the rest of it's going to be one-way roads, and that's clogging it all up. So we are having a growth in population. So our population is currently at 3,950, and we're going to add another. Our schools are fire. We can have another fire because we are quite low with the fire, and now we're going to have to add in the water because the residents are now complaining about the lack of water in this area, which is bothering me. So they are now got their water on that part of the city, but now we're going to have to put the water on this side of the city. So that's all connected up, and that should be starting to deliver the residents their water that they need. and now they can stop complaining about the lack of water. So we're going to put a bus route from the bus depot, and instead of using this area here, we're going to go down onto Hillside Street, and we're going to put it there. We're going to put the start of the route there, and we're going to put the first stop there, and then we're going to put our next stop up here. Put on there, and then we're going to put a second or third stop up here, and then we're going to bring it through to the other side of the expansion to the city, and we're going to put it down into there. And now we're going to start threading the bus route back down towards where it started. And now we're back to where it started, and now the bus route can start picking up passengers and taking to the destination that they want to go in the city. The green route has now started, and that should be taking passengers to the destination they want to go to. And we have a population of 4,058. And our population growth is growing by about 96 residents per day. So I'm going to expand the district a little bit to accommodate the new area in our district, and that'll make it a bit bigger. And our district has now increased. I'll do the same down here with the industrial area, and we'll increase that district. So also in the districts we can set the rules and what they can be. So we can have a farming area if we wanted to in the future, because the area is quite rich in the fertile land. So that'll be somewhere we can go in a future episode. We could build a farming district, which that would look quite nice. And the green route has disappeared from where it starts. So the green route starts there. So you're going to put the green route back to where it should start, which is here. And now the green route starts where it should start from. So in the new area of the city we are going to be adding in a bit of a leisure. So we're going to add in the small park, which isn't actually very small, so we can find a bit of a smaller park. That one would do. I'll just keep putting it through into the new area in the city. And that should encourage the original residents of the city to do a bit of upgrading. And that'll allow us to get to the high density people, and then that'll allow the city to expand at a rapid rate of knots. So we have a population of 4,175, so I'm going to increase the speed of the time, so the expansion can happen a lot quicker on this area of the city. So we still have people that are using the park area on both sides of the city to cut through and get to the other parts of the city. And now here we have a clog up of the bus routes. So I think I'm going to change some of the bus routes to be on the night. So as you see here, the pink bus route goes down to the industrial area. So we're going to turn that one to a night bus. And that one there and that one there also go down to the industrial, so that's going to be a daytime bus. And the green's going to be an all the time bus. And the red that could be an all time bus as well. So that should allow the buses to declog. And now we are into the profit of 1,283. So now we have an increase of 75 residents per day. And so now our city is starting to grow and we are getting more profitable. And the congestion between the buses has decreased now. We have decided to put some of the routes onto the night buses, and we have a increase on demand for the workers, so we'll add in a university when we can, but for now we will add in some more high schools in this area. And that should feed the demand. So the citizens can get from one side of the city to the other side. So we now have a profit of $2,000 per day, which that is quite good for the city. If you wanted to now, we could add taxis, but taxis won't actually help because we'll have to put the taxi stands around the city, which that'll take time, and that time we don't have. And now we do have a bit of congestion on the only way to the industrial area. So one day that'll have to be upgraded and put somewhere else in the city, and that'll stop the congestion, and that'll have to be a 6-lane two-way road going down to the industrial. So all the traffic can go on the road. So now we have a population of 4,688, and the residential has filled in. So now I think we'll have to build a bit more residential, which means we'll have to remove this bit of park here. They're going to build it by 1,000, and then we're going to build up here by 1,000, and we'll do the same on the other side. Build by 1,000. That's 1,040. Please allow me to get 1,000. I'll try the other side. There we go, we have 1,000 there. And we'll go back up here. So unfortunately that does want to remove the path, but we'll have to replace the path one day. So we're going to fill in this area and put in some residential. And when we get the high residential, we are going to be removing the lower residential area in the city. And we'll do the same on the other side. remove these two here. And now we're in this area, we're just going to put some low residential. Fill those two areas in with low, that'll start filling in now. So now we have a high demand for the residential. So I think I'm going to build a bit more in the way of residential. So we can build it by 1,000 again, and build all the way down here. That went a bit wonky, so we're trying. So now we have a population of 1,005 or 5,000. So we now have the free public transport in the city, which that will allow the city to have some more growth. So in this area here, I think we will be adding in some commercial and some of the residential. So we have a growth of 200 per day. And that growth will be increased in a minute when we get into the high density, or put in this bit of residential here. And so these areas here, are they going to continue to be the commercial? And for now, we'll need to put the water in, which that will also bring the demand back up with the water in this part of the city. Also, the residents don't like to be in a part of the city where there's no water, so we're going to put the water back into the city. And now we're just going to connect that one to there. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Which that should have also kept us on the level of the right amount of water in the city. So now we are having some increase in our city. So now we have to also increase the district of Autumn Hill to fit these new parts of the city. So when we need to, we'll be buying the next area in the city, and that will help us to grow the city. So now we're down here, we have quite a few problems in the industrial area. Since we added that new area in the industrial, we have had serious problems of abandoned buildings, and we'll also add a secondary healthcare clinic into the industrial area, and that should prevent the deaths. And now we'll have to add another landfill, because there's people in the city that were complaining, but now their complaints have stopped. 29% full, and that one is 23% full. So we're going to empty it to the other one, so then we can put it all into one, and then for the time being we can shut that one down. And then when we get to 0 in that, or we get to the full into the other one, then we'll add the landfill back in. So currently we have a population, so now I'm going to be fixing up that path again, and we're going to add it to there. Just going to put it in a straight line into the city. So now we still have a growth in the city. We aren't yet about able to get the high density people yet. and they should start redeveloping back into the factories that they want. So down here we are developing the city, and we have a increase of a profit of 3,000 or 3,000, and a growth of 96 residents per day in the city. So I'm going to add a park or two down in this area to increase the leisure into the city. I'm going to try and find a nice small one to put in. Tropical garden, it's a bit big. What is that one? That one is the Japanese garden, which we'll be adding in the Japanese garden to this area down here. Which that one looks quite good. We'll add a couple of Japanese gardens in around this area, and that should help the residents around here to have a increase. And then we'll add a different park up here. So now our leisure is high in the city, but not very high in the industrial. And this leisure bit will help the city to develop. So clear that bit of path there. And down in the industrial, they are complaining of having a lack of workers. But as soon as the city starts to grow, then they'll soon get some workers. But in the future, we will have to redevelop this path, or this road here, to stop the increase of traffic. So we'll have to do it somewhere else in the city. Because right now we do have a serious problem with traffic coming into the city. So we now do have a population of 6,023, and our profit is 4,137 per day. So guys, if you did like that episode, like, subscribe and share. I've been X Karanza. Goodbye.